welcome to our local non-league, and as promised, and as I said on Twitter yesterday, this chat was going to be a very interesting one after yesterday. But we had a chat, Andy, end of the week, and I think it was Friday, whenever it was, and we said that it's going to be a real sort of tough challenge for you going in there. But I quickly looked at my phone, sort of about 20 minutes in, and I looked at the phone. I couldn't believe he's about 4-5-0 up.
Yeah. Well, genuinely, when we spoke on Friday, thought it would be, after what we'd seen and what we knew about East Thurrock, I thought it would be a difficult afternoon for us. But our day, we just set about them. We started with a real intensity. First minute, we shut the first ball down from their kickoff, and that set the tone. We were off and running, and every set play we had caused them problems, whether it was a free kick, corner, throw in, whatever. And then we settled and started to play. So, we were 3-4-0 up in the blink of an eye. And then so once we'd settled, we started to play a bit as well. We were even more dominant. I mean, the first half was just it's like a procession, and I'm not disparaging in any way to East Thurrock. I think we just caught them completely cold. Couldn't handle our presence up front with our front three, and they all got amongst the goals. And then second half, it sort of played out pretty much the same. We could have had 2 or 3 more, and they never really troubled us, to be fair. So just one of those quite amazing afternoons where you control the game from start to finish. And absolutely delighted. Done our goal difference at Power of Good. We've sort of got the best goal difference in the league, and it's like having another point, Dave, because when you've got the goal difference that good, you can if you're kind of drawing games, you're still hanging around, because your goal difference is so good. So
I bet your mum was a bit of a handful in that dressing room afterwards, weren't it? 4 goals.
Who, Mo?
Yeah.
He's fans' favourite, isn't he? So he's too busy outside taking the hero worship, getting the match ball, and then getting it signed by everyone. So he was in fantastic form. Actually, he called it on Thursday night. I had a chat to him at the end of the training session, and some of the players were just doing some finishing, and he wanted to go back in. And I said, I got a feeling, Mo, you're going to be back amongst the goals Saturday, and I think you get a couple. He goes, Gaffer, I think I'm on for 4. I said, wow. I said, that would be something. So I don't know whether we're both having premonitions or we're psychic or what, I don't know. But he was. I took him off 65 minutes in. Thought he was going to run riot, but great afternoon.
I mean, look at for people that don't know. I mean, it was the goals came in the 6th minute, 13th minute, 15th minute, 21st minute, 26th minute, 33 minutes. Got a penalty, 39th minute, and then you. I don't know. Did you take your foot off the brakes or put a foot on the brake in the second half? And he got 1 in the second half, 56. Because I was sitting at a party thinking to myself, well, this could be, double figures.
Yeah, well, we didn't deliberately, but I mean, you'd expect. I think East Thurrock sat a little bit deeper, or they appeared to, and kind of banked up against us. Listen, we still had chances today. We hit the bar. We missed a penalty second half as well. We had another penalty which we missed. I think that would have given Lyle Delaverde's hat trick. So we didn't. It probably was. It clearly wasn't as relentless or intense as the first half. I think it's quite difficult, to keep that tempo, isn't it? Momentum, because first half, literally every time we went forward, I think I felt we were going to score. But fair play to East Thurrock. They didn't throw the towel in, Dave. They stayed organised and they stayed disciplined as best they could, and but they didn't really trouble us. And a little bit surprised, to be honest. I mean, you and I had spoken, and I thought they were looking at their results at home and the performance we saw against Stortford on Tuesday night. I thought we'd get a stiffer test. Maybe I'm not giving us enough credit, but we were pretty relentless And I say the one thing they definitely couldn't deal with was our set plays. However we put the ball in, they found it very difficult against us.
I think I saw somebody tweet, and I don't know where it was now. I was just having a quick look now to see where it was, but I'm sure I saw on there that it was their worst home defeat in, I think it was about 52 years. I'm sure that's the number sort of rings a bell, but
really,
yeah. So I know it was it was a bit of a devastation for them. I mean, what did Magic say to you afterwards? Did you get to speak to Magic afterwards?
No, just shook my hand and said, "Well done." We didn't really exchange anything after that. Probably as you'd expect, their players were a long time coming out after the game as well. So no, not really. But I didn't see that stat, Dave. But I think it was our biggest ever league win, our biggest margin of victory as a club. We put 8 in last year in the FA Trophy against Ramsgate. That was an 8-1. So I think it's our biggest league win as a club. And first time we'd beaten them. I don't know if I mentioned that on Friday. It's been a bit of a hoodoo club for us, and we've never beaten them at home and away until yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. I'm sure. I think you might have mentioned it, but I'm sure I saw somebody else mention it. One of your fans mention it as well, and during the week as well. So it was a good one. So, but it must be a good sort of like spirit lifter as well and confidence booster as well for the squad going into next week's home game against Met Police.
Oh, definitely, Dave. Yeah, but we're in good spirits anyway. I think I spoke to you last weekend, and you saw the kind of mood we were in, and the form we were in against Worthing, and so it's been a good week of training, and that should give us a real shot in the arm if we needed it for next weekend. But no two games are the same. We've got to prepare properly for that one, and I don't expect us to be rattling in another handful of goals like yesterday. But it's certainly a mood lifter for everyone, and to stay top of the league. The supporters and the chairman and the board, everybody's absolutely delighted that we've maintained our position. It was important yesterday as well because the teams around us were playing each other. Important to keep that keep the momentum, but as I said to you, try and stay in the pole position.
Yeah, because there was some other weird results. Not weird results, but some good results for different clubs. I mean, Cheshunt beating Craig Wanderers 4-0, Crimpton Casuals beating Hornchurch, Folkestone turning over 5-1 against Kingstonian. You thought they may have sort of been a little bit tired after their exploits during midweek in the cup, but they turn over Kingstonian 5-1, and then you look down and Worthing 5, Lewis 4, and I know the Lewis manager your game against Worthing, so I saw him in the crowd, so I saw him sitting there. But that's another massive scoring game as well.
That was incredible. I think Lewis were 2-0 up as well. I think Worthing came back to be winning 5-2, didn't they? So it was a real sounds like a basketball match, doesn't it? End to end. And I think Kingstonian had their goalkeeper sent off very early in the game. I don't know whether that affected the outcome there, but I expect Folkestone to be strong. They've got the best points per game average at the moment, and depending what it's taken out. I mean, it didn't look like it had on Saturday, did it? Taking much out of them, their FA Cup exploits, but I expect them to come really strong now, and they'll go top if they win their games in hand. So, some interesting results. Say Craig's got Cheshunt firing again. I was surprised at the dip they had. I thought they were one of the better teams we played earlier in the season. All to play for, Dave. But we all get a week off next week with the trophy, so a little bit of a break from it, and then back in again in November.
Well, top 10, just in case anybody doesn't know, any Enfield fans don't know, of course, and have a look. But it's Potters Bar 10th with 18, Bishop Stortford next 19, Margate 20, Lewis 20, Bognor Regis 21, Cheshunt 21. As you said, folks only played 9 with 21. Kingstonian played 12 with 22. Worthing played 11 with 25. And then yourselves sitting top 12 with 26 plus 16. And I think, as we said in the interviews, and we said last Monday night as well, over your 2 points a game, which is what most managers are looking for.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've done it the hard way. I think we've played most of those teams, probably as the Stortford and Bognor now in that top 10. Potter's Bar have come in there. They're the teams we haven't played, but we've played everybody else. You know, we've had a hard slog since the start of the season, and absolutely delighted. That is as you say, that's the sort of target that will get you certainly get you in the top 5 spots anyway. Which one depends on how we're able to maintain it. But we're not getting ahead of ourselves, Dave. You know, we know what we're about, and you know we know what we've got in the camp, and we're just going to keep working harder than everybody else if we can, and making sure the results keep putting points on the board.
I mean, does it make it difficult though for you as a manager? Going in there and doing really well, sitting top and smashing goals in all over the place. Do you know what I mean? Does that make it more difficult to the fact that there might be teams maybe in the Conference South or Conference North or Conference even that might be looking at the likes of Mo and other players, looking at them and going, he's smashing goals in there. We might take a chance on him. Does that put a bit of pressure on you? To try and sort of, one, keep their sort of feet on the ground, but two, sort of almost looking over your shoulder, that might happen?
Well, yeah, yes and no. I guess if we, know in the sense that, we've already identified what we think are the players that we want to keep, and we've gone public and said that we're, Mo's agreed a deal to sign a contract, so that will help deter teams around us. I think one or two other players we're probably going to do the same thing with as well. But yeah, you're always vulnerable, aren't you, Dave? I remember, in the last couple of seasons, when we haven't been around the top 6 spots, there's always 2 or 3 of our players that have attracted interest. Equally though, Dave, I'm getting a lot of interest from players wanting to come to us. So it's works both ways, doesn't it? But no, I don't look nervously, especially with Mo. I've got a fantastic relationship with him. Goes back to when we signed him. He and I understand each other. We both know where we want to be. I know where he wants to be in time. But you've got to remember, the guy hasn't played a lot of football for the last 18 months, so he's absolutely reveling in the fact that he can play with us and play in a position and a system and a role that suits him. So yeah, I'm not really nervous about it, Dave. But I take your point. There's always going to be people looking when we're.
Does that make it? Is that you knocking on Paul's door then, saying, look, we've got to protect these star players. We need to get a contract for them. Is that how it works as a sort of a high flyer manager? Do you sort of knock on his door and say, look, we've got this one.
Yeah, that discussion happened a few weeks ago. And to be fair to Paul, he reads the signs like I do. He knows the game. He knows how things work. So he's come to me with a couple of other options as well for us to try and tie 1 or 2 players down. So yeah, we're on to that. I think this week we'll see all that tied up. We've got a spare week with no game on Tuesday, so we hope to tie all that down, Dave. Which will be a boost for the players involved, for us, the management team, and for supporters as well. So I don't have any concerns over players committing.
So when we speak later in the week, then we might have some big news to share. Then we might have some news that look, we've got some people tied down. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. I hope so. I hope we can get it out of the way, Dave. Yeah, that's the plan. To get it done. Yeah. So we've got time to do it this week. So yeah, I'm sure that if that's classed as big news, Dave, then yeah, it will be big news. It will be for our fans, because I think there's always a feel. When Mo came back to the club, he said he was going to be around till Christmas, and 1 or 2 things have changed, and I think we'll be able to get him to commit for some time longer. So great news for us and for him, and let's hope he keeps doing what he's doing. He's a better player than when he left us, for sure. But I think he'd be the first to admit. Yesterday, the players around him, we know his strengths, we know his game, and we play to them. People like Lyle Delaverde coming back, Lyle knows Mo's game, puts in these perfectly kind of perfect balls for him. You know, the sort of thing Mo likes to run onto. So and then Adam Cunnington played yesterday. He started. You know, Cunns knows Mo's game running off him as well. So yeah, we got a great understanding. There's a lot to be said for that. Yeah.
Well, listen, Andy, really appreciate your time. We really do, and congratulations on a fantastic result yesterday. And I say we'll talk again at the end of the week, hopefully, and then we'll bounce on to the trophy with Met Police at the weekend.
We'll do, Dave. Yeah, thanks again. Cheers, Dave.
Oh, mate.